Sometimes life puts you in a dark place, a place where you can't see the path ahead, where you feel isolated and out of hope. But here's the thing, the darkness isn't there to break you, it's there to build you. Growth begins in the shadows. Just like a seed buried in soil, everything that grows starts in the dark. It's hidden, unseen, and no one's watching. That's where the magic happens, where the roots go deep, and where strength is built. You're not meant to skip the darkness, you're meant to be natured in it. When you're going through hard times, it's tempting to want to run, to escape, to look for shortcuts. But the truth is, the darkness is part of the journey. You can't avoid it, and if you try, you'll miss out on the growth that only struggle can bring. The dark seasons test you, push you, and stretch you in ways that nothing else can. Those hard times, the failures, the setbacks, they aren't there to make you quit. They're there to make you dig deeper, to bring out the strength and resilience you didn't know you. In the dark, when you're stripped of everything comfortable, when no one's watching and you're all alone, that's when you find your true strength. That's when you figure out what you're really made of. It's easy to be strong when everything's going right. But who are you when no one's around? When it feels like the world is against you? That's when you find your grit, your determination, the strength that will carry you through any storm. And don't get it twisted, the darkness is not the end. It's just the beginning. Darkness is a training ground, a place of preparation. It's where you share what's been holding you back, where you refine yourself and where you build the mindset, the discipline, and the toughness that success requires. Because success isn't just given, it's earned. And it's earned in the dark, where no one's clapping for you, where the struggle is real, and where you're forced to face yourself. Yes, it can feel lonely, but that's part of the process. Sometimes you need isolation to truly focus on yourself. In those quiet moments, without distractions, without anyone else to lean on, that's when you learn the most about who you are. You learn that you don't need validation, that you don't need approval, that all you need is within you. The darkness forces you to look within, to face your fears, to confront your insecurities, and to realize that you are enough. So when you come out of that dark season, you're not the same. You're stronger, wiser, and more resilient. You've been natured in the darkness, and now nothing can shake you. You face the hard times, you push through the pain, and you come out on the other side ready for whatever comes next. The light is there waiting for you, but you're not afraid of the darkness anymore because you know it's what made you. You see, everyone wants the glory, but not everyone wants to go through the struggle. But if you want to be great, you have to be willing to go through the dark times. The dark times, the darkness is not your enemy, it's your teacher. It's your training ground. So when life gets tough, when everything seems to go wrong, when it feels like you're buried under it all, remember this, you're not buried, you're planted, you're being natured in darkness, preparing to grow, to rise and to rise, and to become unstoppable. Keep pushing, keep believing, and remember that the darkness is just part of your story. True growth often begins in the shadows, in those places where we feel unseen, unappreciated, and sometimes even isolated. It's easy to think that progress only happens in the light, in the moments when everyone is watching, applauding, recognizing your efforts. But real growth, the kind that transforms you from the inside out, often starts in the quiet, unseen moments when you're alone with your thoughts, doubts, and dreams. Think about a seed planted deep in the soil. It doesn't start its journey in the open air, bathed in sunlight. It begins underground, surrounded by darkness, where no one sees the initial struggle goes through. Before it ever breaks through the surface, it has to push against the weight of the soil, stretching and growing without anyone noticing. But it's in those moments, in that darkness, where its roots dig deep and its foundation is set. Without that initial struggle, without that time in the shadows, the seed wouldn't have the strength to grow into something resilient and beautiful. Our lives are no different. The times when we feel buried under stress, doubt, and uncertainty are often the times when we're laying the foundation for our future selves. It's in these quiet struggles that we learn what we're truly capable of. When no one else is watching, when there's no applause or encouragement, that's when we forced to find our inner drive. We learn to rely on ourselves, to find strength we didn't know we had, and to keep pushing forward, even didn't know we had, and to keep pushing forward, even when media more of a recognition. The shadows aren't a place to fear, they're a place to grow. Growth in the shadows is about perseverance, about pushing through discomfort, about facing the parts of ourselves that we might not like but need to confront. It's about working on our weaknesses, building up our resilience, and becoming someone who can thrive even when things are tough. The struggles we go through in the dark shape us, mold us, and prepare us for the moments when we do finally step into the light. In those quiet, unseen moments, you develop grit, patience, and endurance. You become stronger, not because someone else told you to be, because you chose to be. You chose to keep growing, to keep pushing, even when it was hard, even when no one else did. You learn that your worth isn't tied to recognition, but to the strength you build in the process. The growth that begins in the shadows is the kind that lasts, the kind that prepares you for life's biggest challenges and opportunities. So embrace the shadows, because that's where you're becoming who you're meant to be. Remember that growth doesn't have to be public to be real. Sometimes the most meaningful progress happens in the moments no one else sees. It's there in the shadows that you're truly becoming. Embracing hardship as part of the journey is one of the most powerful mindsets you can adopt. Life will never be a straight path. There will always be obstacles, setbacks, and challenges that come your way, and how you respond to them will define your future. It's easy to think of hardship as something that's meant to break you, but in reality, it's meant to shape you, to refine you, to make you stronger. The struggle isn't there to stop you, it's there to prepare you. When you go through hardship, you often face the greatest test of your resilience. It's in these moments that you discover what you're truly made of. Hardship forces you to dig deeper, to push past your limits, and to tap into strength you didn't know existed. When everything is easy, there's no challenge, no growth. But when life knocks you down, when things don't go as planned, that's when you have the chance to rise, to show the world, and more importantly, yourself, that you are capable of handling more than you ever imagined. The reality is, hardship is inevitable. No one gets to the top without going through tough times. Whether it's personal struggles, financial setbacks, health battles, or emotional challenges, every person you admire, every success story you look up to that's gone through their own form of hardship. What sets them apart is how they chose to respond. They didn't let hardship define them, they let it fuel them. They used it as a stepping stone, not a stumbling block. The key is to shift your mindset. Instead of viewing hardship as something negative, see it as part of the process, as a necessary part of your growth. Every challenge you face is a lesson in disguise, teaching you things about yourself, about the world, and about how to persevere when life gets tough. Hardship forces you to adapt and get creative and to find new solutions. It shows you what you're capable of achieving when you refuse to quit. It builds your character, your patience, and your resilience. The greatest growth often comes in the most difficult times. It's easy to thrive when everything is going well, but it's in the face of adversity that your true strength is revealed. Hardship doesn't have to break you, it can make you. When you face hardship head on, when you don't shy away from the discomfort, you build the kind of mental toughness that will carry you through whatever comes next. You learn to keep going, even when it feels like you can't take another step. You learn that failure isn't simply a part of the journey. Every setback is a setup for something greater. Don't fear the hard times, don't wish them away. Instead, embrace them. Understand that hardship is a test of your will, your determination, and your character. It's part of the journey you must walk if you want to become the person you were meant to be. You don't grow without struggle, you don't become stronger without pressure. Life's hardest moments are the ones that prepare you for the greatest rewards. So when you face hardship, don't complain, don't give up, don't back down, stand tall, push through, and keep moving forward. The hardship you're facing today is only temporary. It's a chapter in your story, not the whole story. And when you look back on it, you'll realize that it was exactly what you needed to become the person you are destined to be. Embrace it, learn from it, and use it to propel you forward. Hardship is not your enemy, it's an essential part of your journey. Discovering inner strength is often a journey that happens in moments when you feel stretched beyond your limits. It's not something you find when everything is easy or going according to plan. It's something you uncover when you're forced to dig deep, when life pushes dig deep. When life pushes you to a place where you have no choice but to reach within yourself. Inner strength isn't always loud or visible. Sometimes it's a quiet determination, a refusal to quit even when everything seems to be against you. It's the power that surfaces in the darkest times when the odds are stacked against you. and yet you find yourself pressing on. The truth is, you often don't realize how strong you are until being strong is the only choice you have. When you're at your lowest, when it feels like you have nothing left, that's when your inner strength reveals itself. It's not something that can be handed to you. It's something you build layer by layer. And each time you choose to choose going, each time you decide to give it up is not an option. Every setback, every failure, and every painful moment is an opportunity to find that strength within. This strength doesn't come from outside validation or external support. It comes from facing your fears, overcoming self-doubt, and choosing to believe in yourself even when it feels impossible. It's the kind of strength that no one can take from you because it's something you've earned, something you've built from your own struggles, resilience, and determination. When you stand back up after a fall, when you push forward despite the fear, you're proving to yourself just how powerful you are. That inner strength is what will carry you through the toughest times and then lead you to your greatest achievements. Inner strength means trusting yourself even when things aren't clear. It means staying true to your goals, your dreams, and your values no matter what challenges come your way. It's about having the courage to keep moving forward even when the path is uncertain. It's about knowing that you have the ability to overcome whatever obstacles life throws at you because you've proven it to yourself time and time again. And as you continue to grow, that strength becomes unshakable, forming the foundation for everything you will accomplish. Discovering your strength isn't a one-time event, it's a continuous journey. Each new challenge gives you another chance to find out just how resilient you are. Over time, you'll see that no setback, no failure, and no hardship can truly stop you. You'll recognize that your greatest resource isn't your talents, connections, or circumstances, it's the strength you have within. You are stronger than you think, and that strength is something that can carry you through anything life brings. It's a gift that you carry with you, ready to be called upon whenever you need it most. Seeing darkness as preparation requires a shift in perspective, one that embraces difficult seasons not as punishments or dead ends, but as training grounds for something greater. When you're in the dark, when nothing seems to make sense, when progress feels slow, or when setbacks seem endless, it's easy to feel lost or to feel defeated. But what if that darkness is exactly where you're meant to be? What if it's not a place to escape from, but a place to learn, to grow, and to prepare for the next chapter? Darkness often forces us to confront what we might avoid in the light. It's where we're stripped of distractions and faced with our true selves, our doubts, our fears, and our vulnerabilities. It's uncomfortable, yes, but it's also a space that demands honesty. In the darkness, you're left with your thoughts, your beliefs, and your core motivations. This is where you learn what you're really made of, where you discover what you need to work on, and where you begin to shed what no longer serves you. Imagine a seed buried deep in the soil, surrounded by darkness and pressure. That seed doesn't sprout into a full-grown plant overnight. First, it needs to push through the soil, stretching its roots and building a foundation before it even sees the light. The darkness, the soil, the pressure, all of these are essential parts of the process. In the same way, the struggles and challenges you face are the soil in which you're growing. They're preparing you, strengthening you, and we're rooting you so that when it's time to emerge, you're ready to thrive. Darkness isn't a setback, it's an opportunity for preparation. It's where you develop resilience, where you learn to cope with uncertainty, and where you build the strength that this demands. Because success doesn't just require skill or talent, it requires toughness, patience, and perseverance, qualities that only come from weathering the tough times. When you see darkness as preparation, you stop fearing it and start appreciating it. You start to understand that every challenge is adding something to you, shaping you into someone who can handle what's coming. Preparation in the darkness means embracing every lesson, even when it's hard. It means being willing to go through discomfort, to make mistakes, and to face failure, all while knowing that each of these experiences is equipping you for what lies ahead. This time in the dark isn't wasted, it's setting the stage for your breakthrough. Each struggle, each setback is part of your preparation, building the foundation you stand on when you reach your goals. So when you find yourself in a dark season, remember that you're not just waiting for the light to return, you're actively being prepared for it. You'll be able to change stronger, more capable, and resilient. The darkness isn't here to hold you back, it's here to make sure you're ready when the time comes to step forward. Embrace it, trust it, and know that on the other side of this preparation is the person you're meant to become. Pushing through isolation is a powerful and deeply transformative experience. When you find yourself alone without the comfort of others or the distractions of everyday life, it's as if you're left with only yourself to rely on. Isolation can feel daunting. It's easy to let loneliness creep in and to start doubting your path, wondering if you're truly capable of achieving what you've set out to do. But isolation is not a punishment, it's a unique opportunity to grow in ways that simply aren't possible when we're surrounded by others. In isolation, you're given the chance to fully focus on yourself. It's a time when you can strip away outside influences, judgments, and opinions and ask yourself who you really are and what you truly want. It's a period to evaluate your goals, your dreams, and even your weaknesses. Isolation allows for a kind of clarity that only comes from being completely alone with yourself, where you can dig deep and understand what drives you without interference. This is where self-discipline and self-motivation like never before. In isolation, there's no one to push you, no one to encourage you or to hold you accountable. It's just you. The strength you build in these times is something that will carry you through any obstacle, because you'll learn to rely on your own resolve. You'll understand that you don't need anyone else to validate your path or give you permission to pursue your goals. You become your own source of motivation, and that's a powerful thing. Isolation teaches you resilience, patience, and self-trust. It's easy to feel supported when you're surrounded by friends, family, or mentors, but once are gone, your forces are gone, you're forced forward within yourself. You start to realize that your journey is yours alone, that no one else can walk it for you, and that sometimes the only cheerleader you have is yourself. Pushing through isolation means learning to believe in yourself when no one else is around, and that's a skill that will empower you in every area of life. Through this experience, you also discover how to face your fears and insecurities head on without anyone around to distract you or help you avoid the uncomfortable parts of growth. You're left to confront them directly. You're pushed to work through doubts and anxieties, to learn to sit with discomfort and not let it control you. Isolation becomes a training ground for mental toughness, where you learn to master your mind and to quiet the noise within. In pushing through isolation, you build a foundation that no one can shake. You become someone who is self-sufficient, who doesn't rely on external approval, and who can stand strong in their own conviction. You learn that you are capable of weathering any storm, that you have everything you need within yourself, and that your strength is not dependent on anyone else. This experience will shape you, mold you, and prepare you for whatever lies ahead. Because you'll know that no matter how hard the journey gets, you've already faced one of the toughest tests yourself alone, and you came out stronger. Emerging stronger is the ultimate reward for every hardship, setback, and moment of struggle you've endured. It's the result of every time you chose to keep going when it would have been easier to quit. Strength isn't something you're born with, it's something you build one difficult step at a time. When you finally emerge on the other side of challenges, you realize that you're not the same person who started the journey. You've been tested, refined, and transformed into someone with resilience, grit, and unshakable confidence in what you're capable of. This strength comes from confronting everything that tried to hold you back. You faced your fears, weathered disappointment, and pushed through isolation and uncertainty. Each obstacle you overcame added another layer of strength to your character. You've learned that failure isn't final, that setbacks are temporary, and that nothing, absolutely nothing, can stop you if you're committed to growth. Every time you refuse to let hardship define you, you are building a foundation that no one can tear down. Emerging stronger means carrying forward everything you learned in the darkest times. You take the lessons to patience, self-discipline, and apply them to everything you pursue. You know now that you can survive any storm because you've weathered them before. This strength is what will carry you through new challenges, allowing you to face them with a confidence you didn't have before. You no longer fear the hard times because you understand that they're part of the journey and that you have the power to rise above them. When you emerge stronger, you carry an inner power that no one can take away from you. You've proven to yourself that you're not just capable of handling adversity, you're capable of thriving in spite of it. You're no longer dependent on outside validation or approval because you know your worth. You've seen what you're capable of, and now you walk with a sense of self-assurance and purpose that can't be shaken. You know that no matter what comes next, you are ready, and that each challenge will only make you even stronger. Emerging stronger isn't the end, it's a beginning. It's a foundation to build on a reminder of everything you've accomplished and a source of power for every step forward. You're not just a survivor of hardship, you're a conqueror. You are someone who knows the depth of their own strength, who sees challenges, stepping stones, and who moves through life with unbreakable certainty that nothing can stop you. In the end, everything you've gone through, the darkness, the isolation, the fears, and the hardships have been shaping you into a stronger, more resilient version of yourself. These struggles were never meant to break you. They were there to build you, to prepare you for greater challenges, and to prove to you how powerful you truly are. Every time you push through the discomfort, face the unknown, and relied on your inner strength, you are emerging from each setback, each obstacle with a deeper sense of self and a firmer foundation. Remember, you are your only true competition, and every day you choose growth over comfort, you're setting yourself up for success that's rooted in strength, resilience, and a relentless will to rise. Embrace every moment of the journey, knowing that each step, no matter how difficult, is a testament to your strength. You are unstoppable, and no darkness, no hardship can keep you from reaching your purpose. So keep moving forward, keep fighting, and know that every challenge is another opportunity to become even stronger.